shooting star, or perhaps it was a comet, or maybe it was something else entirely. It grew larger. It seemed to be heading directly towards him. It streaked past him. Instinctively, Rose screwed his eyes shut, as an explosion momentarily turned night to day. The heavy Tahoe came to a squealing halt as its tires bit into the rutted rural tarmac. Sudden chatter on their comms network stated the obvious. They were under attack. Ahead, white reverse lights replaced red tail lights, and the lead vehicle jerked backwards, tires smoking. Sitting directly in front of Rowe and riding shotgun, his teammate unclipped his assault rifle from its secure position on the dashboard. As Rowe reached for his own, their driver, following the lead vehicle's actions, slammed their Tahoe into reverse. He jerked forward, his seatbelt tightening. Beside him, the prisoner shrieked. A second explosion from behind made the convoy stop again. Rowe turned to see Tahoe 3 on fire, but it continued to move backwards, to pick up speed as it attempted to evade the attack. Rowe's own Tahoe was barreling backwards. It jerked to one side as the driver performed a J-turn and brought it nose to nose with the vehicle behind, which had stopped moving and which was now being hit by heavy .50 caliber rounds. The thunderous thud, thud, thud registered in Rowe's ears like the heavy punches of a prize fighter. Flames flared from firing positions in the fields on both sides. The front of Tahoe 3 dropped as the fusillade from numerous rifles ripped away the run-flat tires, wheels and all. Rowe had been taught never to leave the vehicle, to stay inside the impregnable ballistic skin, but now, as what had to be armor-piercing rounds shattered the windows and ripped through the bodywork of the stricken Tahoe, he could see there was no cover at all. The driver, and then the man next to him, convulsed as they were hit. The driver of his own vehicle let out a yell as he floored the accelerator, and they tore forward, clipping the other SUV before powering back the way they had originally come. Next to him, the prisoner had become hysterical. He was now shouting in Chinese and shaking and pulling at his restraints. Rowe had no time for this, so punched him in the head. The man's head jerked, then fell forward, and his noise ceased. "Comms are down," the voice of the team member in front of him shouted. The driver, like Rowe, said nothing as they left the burning hulk of Tahoe 3, Tahoe 1 following on their tail. It was time for action, not talk. They reached the crossroads as explosions on both their left and right forced them to continue straight on. Funneled back towards Windsor, the incoming fire followed them. The rear windscreen of Rowe's SUV shattered as rounds pierced the ballistic glass and chewed up the empty back seats. A new noise now sounded above the whipping wind and roaring engine, the whine of rotor blades. A helo buzzed them, then jinked and arched into the sky before it bore back down on them. In the darkness, Rowe couldn't tell who it was or what it was. But then this made no difference as flames erupted from either side of its bulbous body as more heavy lead hurtled towards them. Every instinct told Rowe to run. Instead, he turned sideways and fell on top of his prisoner, shielding him with his body. The glass around him exploded, and the Tahoe shook, but continued on. He pushed himself back up and grabbed his weapon. Turning again, he now saw Tahoe 1 had become a rolling ball of flames. He knew his Tahoe was the target, and the attackers wanted to take the man next to him alive. "I'm hit." The driver's voice was husky, weak. Rowe pulled himself forward. His teammate in the passenger seat was slumped sideways, a shard of ballistic glass glinting from where it had embedded itself in his neck. Rowe looked at the driver as the man's hands slipped from the steering wheel, and the bulky SUV lurched to one side. Rowe braced himself against the seat back as the Tahoe continued and slammed into the wall of the nearest building. Airbags deployed around the two dead men as the front of the vehicle crumpled. Rowe's chest was slammed against the seat and his lungs were punched shut. He slid off the seat and landed on top of his already unconscious prisoner. There was a sudden silence.